Welcome back to the workbench. I want to design and print spacers that'll go in here so I can put some M2 bolts in there and keep them centered because that's the way I want to do it. Probably don't have to do this. You don't have to do it either. But hey, if you want to learn LibreCAD, this is a good one to use because it's an easy exercise and it shouldn't take you more than 10 minutes to design and another 10 minutes to print out the 6 of them you need. I have a metric drill set. You don't have to use a metric drill set for this. No, I'm not going to drill these to make them larger. I'm going to use the drills to find out how big those holes are. You can use a regular Freedom Units drill set if you'd like, and then use your calipers to measure the drill afterwards. What you'll find is as you measure things with this, you don't get an accurate measurement with the ends, but you do get an accurate measurement with a drill. So those to me look like 4 millimeters. No. 4.5. Yes. Those are 4.5 millimeter holes. Now you know you don't have to measure them. If you measure them with Freedom Units, you're going to get some fraction of an inch or decimals of an inch. Then you'll get your handy dandy calipers there and measure that. See, 4.5, 4.48, 4.5 millimeters is the distance. What is the next step? Drawing it. So I want to have a big circle and then a little circle. And the little circle is 4.5 millimeters. The big circle, I want it bigger than that. How big is the head of a 2.5 mil button head? It is 5 millimeters or so, or no, 4.5. It's the same as that little hole. That's why that goes through there. All right, so we probably would want to have, I'm going to say 6 millimeters for that. That's pretty small. How thick is the frame? The frame is 1.64, 0.65, 0.7. So we're going to say 1.6 because I want it to be a little bit smaller this way. That way when I tighten it up, it tightens against the frame and the spacer doesn't bottom out. I can always make it larger and sand it if I want to. So the side view of this is going to look like this with this 6 millimeters here and the 4.5 millimeters here. No, I didn't need to dimension that. This is going to be 1.5 and I'm going to make that 1.5 as well. Those are all the dimensions I need to know in order to draw this spacer in a LibreCAD. So let's go over to LibreCAD, put on a different microphone so I sound different, and we'll get started drawing it. Here we are on my computer. I have a Libre Atom 3D version 27 loaded. It's an older version. That's okay. That's one of the things I like about a Libre is you don't have to upgrade. You don't have to pay a subscription. You can buy it once and use it forever, or as long as you can find a way to install it, I guess. But by the time you get a new computer, a new operating system, you'll be ready for a new version of a Libre anyway. So we're going to create a new part. Here we are in our window. I want to set this up for metric because right now it's in Freedom Units. So I'll go to File and Properties. And there's a Properties dialog box. I'll go to General under Units. And it's set to millimeters because I was smart the last time I did this. And I picked Set Current Settings as the default for all the new parts going forward. So that was smart of me. Thank you, past Bill. If you find that when you click the millimeters or the units, it goes and it drops down and goes away real quick, that's because you have Grammarly loaded. You need to uninstall Grammarly or exclude it from this. I had to uninstall it in order for that to work. That was a chore figuring out that one. Hope that helps you. All right, I need to draw in these parts. You can see I have two little washers that go on top of each other with an M2.5 or a 2.5 millimeter hole between them. So what I'm going to do is draw two circles. I'm going to draw one circle and extrude it, draw another circle on the face of the other now cylinder and extrude it the other direction. And then I will draw in another circle in the middle, extrude it all the way through, and cut that. And then that should do the trick. So let's try it. Let's activate the sketch. And we want to go on the XY plane. So I'll pick the XY plane. And then I'll zoom in because why not? You just roll your wheel up. I'll pick there, and it's going to ask, whoops, I forgot to pick circle, didn't I? So I'll pick circle. I'll pick there to start, and I'll go out. How far is that? It was 4.5 millimeters. A LibreCAD does diameter as the default, where AutoCAD does radius. So you need to pay attention to what you're doing. I don't know what Fusion 360 does or what the other ones do. I don't use them. I use the Libre and AutoCAD. But the concepts that I'm showing you will work probably for all the other things, including Tinkercad. So there's my 4.5 millimeter circle. That's the smaller one. I'm not going to draw the larger one on here. That's a different part. So I will deactivate the sketch. I will go ahead and extrude that circle, and I'm going to extrude it 1.5 millimeters. And that's how far I want it to go. And then I will pick OK. And now if we take a look at this in 3D, look at that, I have a circle. Now I'm going to draw the next circle and extrude it on this side, right here on this face, and I'm going to extrude it this direction. So we will activate a sketch. And then we'll pick the plane. That's the plane I want to work on. I want to draw in a circle, and I want the circle to start there, and I want the diameter of this to be 6. And there it is. I'll deactivate my sketch. I'll look at it in 3D because we want to extrude it, and I want to see it for full effect. We'll extrude, we'll pick the circle, and 1.5 it remembered, and I'll say okay. So now I have my fabulous, way cool spacer. Almost. I'm missing the hole right there. So let's do that. We'll go ahead and activate a sketch again. I'll pick this plane. I'll draw in a circle, and I'll put it right here. And I'll go out so it's 2.5 millimeters. I like when I do 3D printing to make the hole for the screw the diameter of the screw thread. That way I can either use it as a threaded hole or I can use it as a through hole just by screwing the screw in and let it strip it out. If you want perfect, you can experiment with it. Usually you'll add half the diameter of the print nozzle. So it'd be 0.2, so I'd make it 2.7. All right, that's good. So I'll deactivate the sketch. I will go back to 3D for effect. I'm going to use the cut extrusion this time. And I'm going to pick that circle right there. And I want it to go deeper than that. I needed it to go 3 millimeters at least. So I'm going to say -4 because it had negative there before. So I'm going to go with it. -4. Let's see if it went through. It did go through. Look at that. I've made my spacer. That wasn't so bad, was it? It was 3 things. It was 1 circle here, 1 circle there, extruding that way, extruding this way, and then another circle in the middle with a cut extrusion to cut out the hole. Now I want to go ahead and let's save this work because why not? I'm going to put it in my OneDrive. I have a Bill's Workbench. And in there I have the MN99, and that seems like a good thing. So we're going to call this the transmission spacer. There. I can't print what I just saved. That is the source code, if you will. That's the Libre file. Now I need to export this to an STL file. I will accept all the defaults, but I am going to call it transmission. It's in the right spot. I'll hit save. And I'm going to accept all the defaults here because I haven't really dived into this to look if it's better or worse or what have you. I'm going to use my millimeters. It's, it is what it is. Okay. And now I have an STL file. Now we'll launch the Bamboo software, and it's probably going to want to upgrade because it seems like Bamboo wants to upgrade all the time, but we'll see if it wants to upgrade. No, it didn't want to upgrade. All right, I'll hit prepare. Let's go find our file. All right, I found our file. There's the transmission spacer. I will drag it right into there. And there's my spacer. I'll zoom in. It is upside down. So I'm going to spin it round, round, baby, round, round, like a record, baby, round, 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 round. We'll try auto and see what that does. It did it right. Yay, auto worked. If auto didn't work, you could use this one, which is rotate by face, and then pick the face you want on the plate, and then poofo magico, it is in the right spot. So there's that. I have Bamboo PLA Basic in there. Yeah, that's what I've got loaded. And that's fine. I don't, the extra draft is fine. You can go draft, you can go strength. Yeah, let's live on the edge. Let's go strength. That adds more walls to it. That's probably a good idea. Layer height 0.2, everything is good, everything is fine. I don't need any supports, so we'll make sure there's no supports on. They're not on. I do want to clone this though, and I want to clone it 6 times to make a total of 7 of them. Look at that. I have an extra one in case I drop one and lose it. All right, then we'll go ahead and slice it. What that does is generates the G code to print these things. And look at that. Poofo Magico, it's ready to go. And we'll hit print plate. And it's going to print out to Bill's workbench. I want to do a time lapse so that you can watch it right now, right up there in the corner. And I'll hit send. And it will print out all of these pieces. If you find your pieces don't stick to the plate, or you have weird artifacts and things like that, get some Dawn dishwashing soap and clean that plate off real good, dry it real good, and put it back in and print again. You'll find it will work perfectly. All right, I will see you over on the workbench. And so yeah, I got those printed. They printed out on the Bamboo Labs. They printed perfectly the first try. It's a printer I swear by, as opposed to a printer I swear at. So yeah, it's a good printer. So here is the transmission itself. The motor goes towards the front. This is the front. So the motor goes towards the front. I'm going to mount them to the topmost holes. Am I lucky? Am I lucky? Oh boy, oh boy. Just when I think it's going to fail, it doesn't. The shifting thing goes right in between these two guys. Good. All right, so we can put the spacer in there. I got my M2 by, I think these are 6s. Let's see. All right, so I got my 6 M2 by 8s. And put that on the end of here. I'll put a washer on there. And then we'll grab our spacer we made, and we will screw that spacer into there. And with that spacer in there. Nice. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. All right. I'll rinse and repeat this 6 times. And there is the last screw. Well, there we go. I've got all the screws in. I have the transmission mounted. It looks good. That little spacer did the trick. It did exactly what I wanted it to do. I have no gaps in this part or this part. That's why I made that 1.5 mil. It's a little bit thinner than this. And yeah, it did the job. So there you go. You can take a quick idea of creating a spacer, draw it up in your favorite CAD software, and print it out. And in, what, 15 minutes, I have 6 spacers. Saves a lot of time. I don't have to run and go find them. I don't have to wait for the Amazons. I don't have to do anything. And these things were, what, a half a cent a piece of printed material? So yeah, pretty happy. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something. Let me know if you like these kinds of videos. I'll be happy to make more of them.